Alright. I want to try out this game. Looked kind of interesting. I saw it on the Xbox store, but looks kind of nice. Oh, I gotta choose an... Oh. Okay. An operator works with drones, high precision for remote machines. Here. Works with machine tools. Interfaces. Will approach problems with awareness. Oh. Extractors work on resource extraction, often in a hard vacuum. Sleepers assigned to extract work are often confident, self-sufficient, and have a high level of endurance. Machinist repairs and modifies automated systems. Industrial resource extraction. Sleepers assigned to machinist work diligently, careful. Huh. Ooh. I think I'm gonna go with the interface operator. Ooh. The first thing you become aware of waking in the disconnect. The delay between thinking and feeling, between wanting to act and acting. Minor, almost imperceptible, but always present. It's at its worst when waking, when yourself has spent many dark hours recalling what it felt like to be real, to be a person, to be in a body that was indisputably yours. Think of that body. A leap into a cold lake on a hot day, the sting of blood welling from your fresh wound, the friction of a fingertip. All of a sudden, the memories are closer than you thought, blurring as you approach, until you can't tell one from the other. The cold slips in, behind and around you, and the sensation fades out of reach. Perhaps you should be thankful for the dulled nature of this new body. Given your current circumstances, the walls of this container feel immediately present. Cold, hard, at your back and face, cramping your limbs. You resist the desire to stretch, knowing that the claustrophobia comes next, and retreat a little from your central nervous system. It isn't painful, not like you used to know pain at least. An emergency mode pain is a message delivered with efficiency and ease, a reminder that harm is imminent. There is no insistent throb, no trembling nerves, just a warning delivered with the banal quality of a digital notification. Right now, there are thousands of them. The plan. What's the plan? You mostly remember that it wasn't a good plan, but then your options were limited. And once you got the itch to get out, by any means possible, it was either that plan or something much worse. It was at least simple. Collapse the shaft, drift away into chaos, slip into cargo processing, seal yourself into containers, and just hope the freighter left before you were missed. Some were lost in the shaft. Others never found the meeting point. Only a few made it to the containers, but the freighter, as far as you know, left. That feels like enough to know that you might no longer be on the grim and heartless rock. Even if, in the airless hold of a freighter, you might freeze solid long before you reach your final destination. I'm gonna try to rest. But you are restless. It has been a long time since you left. Surely weeks, maybe months. You are dully aware of the damage to your legs, your right arm. You have been reserving energy as much as possible, but your body has still needed to shut down many of its systems to protect you. You have spent much of that time asleep, knowing that anything else would be impossible to endure. You feel the weight of that impossibility begin to gather. It is time to sleep again, to nudge this false body into inducing delta waves in your emulated mind, and once again recoil into a dream of when you were once a person. The time passes, the cold creeps further in. You feel something. warmth. Not true warmth, but the indication of its presence. Your joints release from the rigor. Sounds too, everywhere, screeching and shimmering so loud your body ducks your hearing to protect its sensors. There's a little flash right there. Then light, white as the cold, softer and softer, until a haze of dirty yellow, a figure appears. You are out. I am cryptocurrency stored in the air world sticks of the memory known as chids. Huh. Okay. Dragos, pragmatic salvager. Whoa. A pragmatic and private salvager. It has been a few hours since Dragos pulled you from the container. You sit huddled in a corner of his scrapyard, swallowed in a reflective fold of a mylar blanket. You are slowly coming back to consciousness, back to life, and you stare at the ornately curving element of an improvised heater. You are surrounded by angular, incoherent lumps of ships, some corroded beyond recognition, others still carrying glassy wounds along their edges where a plasma arc sliced them apart. As you trace their shapes with fogged eyes, you hear a voice. So, sleeper, you all thawed yet? I'm gonna say almost. That's probably gonna be... Never seen one of you come in like this. New frames must have been better perseverance in Sub-Zero vac. Seen more than a few of you frozen solids at hull plates or inside outer locks in my time. They weren't so lucky. Dragos comes into focus, shrouded in a makeshift tech, his headset with his glinting eyes, the mark of a drone operator. On his shoulder, one of the symbiotically linked drones. Perches. Its irising eye, oh my goodness, locking you with an unflinching stare. That thing is freaky. Oh. Last living sleeper that came through this yard was a while ago. They didn't last long. You struggle to read his expression beneath the tech, but he seems lost in memory for a moment. Or perhaps he's just figuring out what to do with you. I plan to survive. You aren't sure if he hears you. I won't ask what led you to do it. To sell yourself to a corporation. And I suppose you know, you can't go back. Your old body, that's theirs now. And you're just software. A rogue emulation illegally processing corporate property. You nod along. You remember biometrically signing the forms. The cold floor on your feet as you padded to the sleeper cells. The promise of life off-world. But as you do, you get the now familiar sensation. These aren't your memories. These are the things that you know, but not things you feel. You are no longer that person. You are an offshoot, a copy. What you know is what's ahead. At least the last one didn't. There's no easy way to put it. That body of yours is falling apart. It's the same for any sleeper who makes it out. SNR wants to protect their property, but if they can't keep a hold of you, well, then no one can. You remember that too, or at least rumors of it, from the other sleepers. Bland obsolescence. A built-in dependence on the regularly administered supplements that were part of your routine. Stop taking them, and your body begins to shut down. Separate from your emulated mind. How long has it been? How long do you have? But for now, sleeper, you're one of the lucky ones. Dragos glanced up and away towards a glassy dome of the yard. The eye is now best place you could be right now. The eye? The station. You'll see soon enough. Dragos impatiently shifts his weight. Look, I've got things to be getting on with. He trails off. There's an old freight container I've been using as storage out in the stacks. We haven't been pulling in much valuable scrap these days, so you're welcome to it. Something wells up inside of you. Emotion. fatigue, you shakily get to your feet and nod. All right, you head up there. You look like you need some rest. And with that, Drago stalks back into the wrecks, his drones already converging on a rusting hulk, plasma flashes silhouetting his spindly fingers as he returns to work. Alright, tutorial. Welcome to Erlen's Eye. Life on the Eye runs in cycles. During this, you can talk to characters, explore areas of the station, and perform actions. At the end of each cycle, you need to head to your current home to rest. Resting will move time forward on the station. Head to the empty container location to rest and to end the cycle now. Select locations by clicking on their icon. Okay. Can I... Oh, there's just... Empty container. All cycles need to end. Rest and prepare for the next one. Oh. Energy, condition, or cycle. Weird. You wake curled up in the corner of the container and begin slowly assembling the world around you. After all this time, you still find this body, the one you wake in now, strange and disjointed. Its message is readable but somehow wrong. You sit up, pulling the mylar blanket closer to you, against the cold. Here you are, on this ruined station, millions of miles from anyone you've ever known. Are you still in the system? Did any of the others make it out? It's impossible to know. After all this, what matters? Ooh, that's a choice. Oh. I mean, I already escaped. Now I just need to know how to live. I don't know if getting answers is really gonna help me out. But I can't build a life without getting answers, so I gotta go with getting answers. All that matters, the past is impossible to escape if it remains a blur. What S and Arp did to you cannot be forgotten. You need a way of understanding all this before you can move on. Where are you? What is this place? What happened to the others? The questions outnumber the answers. You want to change, but you'll have to learn to survive first. Dragos left a few comforts in the container. The mylar blanket, the bedroll you slept on, a canister of water, a makeshift electric stove, and some padded sachets of some desiccated powder. You thumb the power stud of the stove and begin to boil the water. The contents of the sachets smell like damp wood, and you sprinkle them into the liquid. As the pungent smell washes over you, images of your restless sleep come back to you. A ring like the station, but skeletal and ghostly. A web of threads pulling at your skin. A constellation of bright polygonal shapes like angular suns burning into your mind. There's something unpleasantly visceral about these images, and it is long after you finish drinking before they begin to fade. You tidy away the stove as best you can and try to gather enough energy to greet the day. Oh. Whoa. Okay. Tutorial. Condition, action dice, and energy. Condition. Your condition represents the current state of your artificial body. It depletes by one segment each cycle, but can also be damaged by violence, injury, of lack of food. If your condition bar empties, you will suffer a breakdown. You'll have to figure out how to recover your condition now that you no longer have access to corporate pharmaceuticals that were keeping you alive. Action dice. At the start of each cycle, you'll roll action dice. These dice can be used to perform actions on the station. The number of dice rolled is based on your current condition. Okay. That's important. The worse your condition, the fewer dice you have. Once you've used your dice, you cannot take any further actions and must rest to recover them, ending your current cycle. Okay. Energy. You also need to eat to survive. This is represented by your energy bar. I think that's probably the top right there. And I think my condition is probably the 3. You've got dice. Oh no, 1 is condition, 2 is dice, 3 is energy. Okay. You can refill your energy bar by eating, but first you'll have to get somewhere to get food. Your energy depletes by 2 segments each cycle. If it becomes empty, you will be starving. When you're starving, you lose condition. And when you lose your condition, it'll deplete. Oh, and your condition will also deplete at a double rate per cycle when starving. Woo! Okay. Oh, leave my container. Dragos is standing in the corridor when you close up the container. He's still wearing his headset, and in the harsh light of the corridor, you realize it is implanted. A drone sits on his shoulder, its cache of sensor eyes rapidly irising. How are you feeling? Feeling okay. The drone chirps. Good to hear. You notice that beneath the operator's rig, his skin is marked by burns and blotches. I know the containers isn't much, but it'll keep you safe. He pauses. So, I'm not going to chit-chat too long. You well enough to work? Sure. All right then, he nods. At the yard, it's simple stuff. We hack these old holes down, sell them off to the shipyards, or the bright market dealers for cryo. Occasionally, we pull out some tech, something with a bit more value, but most of what comes in is scrap. It's hard to find good hands here, but I figure as a sleeper, you'll be used to manual labor, and obviously, I'll slip you a few chits of commission based on what you turn up. Chits? These. He pulls out a handful of small metal bars. Air-walled cryo, isolated from the market. It's what we use to trade down here. He stuffs them back into a pocket. He shuffles his feet nervously. Look, I wouldn't usually do this. In my opinion, you'd be best suited moving on as quick as you can. And sleepers, well, trails off. But things the way they are for me at the yard, I need the help. You know what? You're an old man. You look like you need it. I'm happy to. Okay. He pauses, thinking of something else to add. Look, just come down to the yard when you're feeling fresher. There's plenty to do. All right, I'll do that. He nods distractedly and turns and walks away, the drone hopping along ahead of him. See you later, he calls back. Looks like it's time to get to work. Huh. Okay. So there's no way for me to kind of look around the station. There's... Got it. Drago's yard. Whoa! Okay. Hold on. Alright, actions. Actions are a primary way to interact with the world of Citizen Sleeper. To perform an action, click and drag any action dice into the slot. Oh! Okay. Alright, I understand. Okay, one moment. This. I gotta put that at like a 3. And a 3. Whew. That might be better. Alright. Here we go. So, actions reward you with clock progress, energy, condition, or items depending on their outcome. There are 3 types of outcome. Positive, the action goes better than expected. Neutral, the action succeeds. Or negative, the action fails. As you'd expect. Action dice affect these outcomes. Oh. Okay. It's not bad, not great, but, you know. So I can basically secure an outcome, flip a coin. Okay, I see. Alright, so... I click continue. Alright. Actions display information about their type risk level, their type, risk level, and the skill and modifiers that apply to each action. Okay. So maybe I want to save my earlier, like my smaller dice for stuff I'm much better at. Okay, that makes sense. Type, Either critical or repeatable. Critical actions can only be performed once. Got it. Risk. Either safe, risky, or danger. Safe, no loss of condition. Risky, negative outcome means cryo or energy loss. Danger, negative outcome means condition loss. Neutral outcome can mean cryo or energy loss. Oh, that's not great. Okay, skill. The skill that this action requires, either engineer, interface, endurance, intuition, or engagement. A modifier, either -1, 0, +1, or +2. This is added to the action dice when allotted and improves the value. Some actions require a +1 to perform. Okay. 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 Input dice, input dice. This is engineer. I have a -1 on this one. So if I do this, this one's risky, but if I put a 4 here, okay, so if I just put a 4 here, it's going to be the same, or a 3 there, 3 here, and a 3 there. Oh, I can only choose one. It's going to take some time to sort and cut away through the towers of salvage, but you are no stranger to hard labor. Even the rustiest folk can hide valuable components and materials. Extracting this means cutting carefully and skillfully. Bagos is tied up in something. Every soldier knows that there's one lucky haul away from their next payday. Okay, I'm not good at enduring, so I'm gonna have to go with that one. Working, come on. Back in business. Nice. Not too bad. Actions often progress clocks. Clocks are displayed below the action that filled them. They track your actions, see how it affect the world. Filling a clock means that something good or bad is about to happen. Nice. Okay. So this is the negative outcome, and this is the positive outcome. That makes more sense of why there's 2 down there. Okay. Some, such as the clocks tracking these clocks tick themselves once each cycle and can complete without player input. Any active cycle clocks will be displayed on the icon for that location. Okay. Nice. Right. So this is repeatable. I can... Oh. If I do that... Well, because the 4 is the exact same way. So if I just put the 4 here and I do this. Come on. Oh. Oh. It just... What? In Citizens Liberia, you unlock drives as you discover more about yourself and the world. Drives guide you in pursuing specific objectives depending on which path you wish to take. You can track these drives, and any track drive will place a yellow mark on a location that will help you pursue your goal. Access your drive menu via the arrow button at the top left corner of the screen. Right up there. Okay. Oh! You are now free to explore Erlen's Eye and make life for yourself here. Try tracking a drive to help you survive. You're potent, you didn't know it. Look for food to keep your energy up and a way to recover condition. Fill clocks to progress stories and find new opportunities. Remember to end cycle at your home when you are out of dice. Use the mouse wheel or W and S to scroll along the station. Rotate the view with A and D. Okay. Oh! Double back to business. That was a risky move, but it worked. So, so I can use the right mouse button to... Oh, wow. And I can use A and D to rotate. That's awesome. Whoa. Okay, W and S are really... Oh, What is this? Merchants willing to run the gauntlet of Hellion system are rare, but those do always return eventually. Okay. Okay. Old dock terminal. Huh. Getting to know Rotunda doesn't mean new places to visit, it means keeping your eye on new arrivals too. The Rotunda of Old Dock is filled with passageways, concourses leading to all kinds of docking bays. We're not gonna do anything risky right now, I just started. Docking Bay B2. Ooh, that music, dude. Okay. Ooh, risky and dangerous. Ask for directions. Why wonder when there are hundreds of people that live and work within the Bright Market? All you need to do is the courage to approach them. The smell, sounds, and buzzing activity of the Bright Market makes it a dizzying place to wander, but enticing one too. Yeah. Don't know if that's a good idea. Oh, I can't even pay the toll. I can't even leave the starting area just yet. Decaying scrapyard. Okay, that's here. I've been there. That's home. Construction yard. Okay, you don't have connections, but you do have the skills. If you can get a shipbuilder to notice them, you might be in. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna go back to Dragos's yard. I'm gonna risk it again. Come on, 50% at least. Oh, yes. Fantastic. Oh, it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50. I'll run that coin. Oh. Okay. Okay. Wait, find a doctor. Oh, that's here. Oh my gosh. Dang it. Okay, I should have explored the market, because now I'm gonna be in a world of pain. This time you don't wake up. Instead, the ghost of the station that shifting skeletal ring surrounds you. For a moment, you're gone, absent from your own body, stretched out across a colorless void. And the connections begin to establish themselves, threads tugging on the edge of your mind. These threads become vectors of exchange, and the extensions as you feel your thoughts slipping away down them, dissolving into millions of distributed nodes that connect to. You see the station. No, you feel the station like a web of texture in a smooth black liquid. Touch it. Touch it. You find a point in the station and you connect to it. Pulse through it. Follow loops and paths under and around it. You touch more points than you have fingers, and then you try, in a moment of impulsiveness, to connect to them. The flow passes through you so rapidly that you feel yourself being carried with it, splitting and separating, eddying and gathering as you do things occur to you. Things that you can't possibly know. You reach out, try to grasp them, try to touch them too. You notice a tugging feeling, pulling you insistently, as if you were a small child, Somehow, it is pulling you in two directions at once. You look down. All of a sudden, everything shuts off. You come back trembling into this unfamiliar body, both yours and not yours, all at once. You find yourself standing in the container, eyes now open to the dark steel walls. You feel a change within you, a shift. You close your eyes for a second and you feel it waiting there. The station splayed out across your mind, a storm of connective nodes waiting to be explored. And then it is gone. Wow, okay. That's, I don't know. I have 50 money. I do not know. I wonder if I do this. 100%. I could just, no risk, danger, fine. Good. Great. Fantastic. Local knowledge, positive outcome, and I got all three right here. The bright market is a business part. Okay. Action unavailable. What does that do now? Oh, doctor. Next comes the call from the enforcer at the door. You shuffle down the flickering hallway towards the open apartment door. You keep your head down and your shoulders high in the queue, trying not to bring attention to yourself. You are thankful for the tip-off that the doctor was operating out of this place. But now that you are here, you aren't so sure. The gang enforcer at the door, the flickering light strips, the decaying hab block. They all have made the long queue of a test of your nerve. But your options are few, and without a supply of stabilizer, this body, your body, will... You suppress a shiver and shuffle forward to the front of the queue. You try to find something to distract yourself. Look at the enforcer. The enforcer's looking down the corridor. You dare glance at him. His purpose is unmistakable. He is there to intimidate, to threaten, and if necessary, carry out those threats. His broad shoulders are framed with a metal exoskeleton. A couple of mirror-like implants sit below his eyes like a mercury teardrop. Subsidiary sense input or aesthetic markers. You aren't sure. You also aren't familiar with the geometric blade-like tattoo on his arm, but you make note of it. You avert your eyes when he looks back at the queue. After a few moments, a figure pushes through the doorway, and you catch the distant voice. "Send the next one in, Toshiro." The enforcer jerks his head, and you slip inside, passing through the dark entryway and pushing through the plastic sheet on the far door. The room beyond is bathed in warm light. A floor to ceiling transparent panels give a full view of the bright market's sealed roof and buzzing traffic above, and for a moment you are transfixed by the motion. "Come sit," calls a sharp voice, and you see a silhouetted figure turn away, replacing the plastic sheet over the frame of the simple folding bed. You make your way across the room. The figure turns. As they do, you see an expression of confusion flash across their features. They open their mouth as if to speak. They blink, and they quickly regain their composure. "Please, sit." They gesture to the bed, then turn to an open case of tools on the table. You sit. Sabine turns. A compact diagnostic scanner of some kind in their hand. They hold it to their eye. "Remain still, please." Their tone is clipped and businesslike. You stare ahead, still dazed from their expression when you first entered. Fear, recognition, sadness, unmistakably etched across their face. "How long have you been in the station?" they asked, the scanner still to their eye. I'm not going to answer it. They lower the scanner and meet your eye. "You can talk." They glance towards the doorway. "I know the conditions aren't ideal, but I need you to be honest with me." They make some adjustments to the scanner. "Or you can leave." They set the diagnostic scanner on the table. "I'm going to start assuming you don't know anything." They take your arm, roll up your sleeve, inspecting your synthetic skin. "Your body is dying." They say it without ceremony, without drama, but not without empathy. Essen ARP doesn't like to see its proprietary technology let loose to prevent bodies like yours, frames as they call them, from being stolen, repurposed, or in your case, escaping. They built in a process so-called planned obsolescence. Frames decay rapidly when not regularly injected with stabilizer, one which S&ARP remains the sole producer of. They look up. Sound familiar? Yes, it does. Good. That may help. They swap to your other arm, running some thin metal device over your skin. You feel your forearm tremble. I'm sorry, Bean says. You're unsure if they mean for the cold touch of the metal or anything else. Emulations like you, sleepers, as most people know you aren't classified as people in any surrogate systems. You have no rights, no status. They focus hard on the inspection of your arm, and S&ARP has no reason to release stabilizer into the market. Sabine looks up at you as if to apologize again, but they stop themselves. I know little of this is of use to you. They turn away, disassembling the metal instrument and cleaning it. Silence fills the room as Sabine works, and then the silence gives way to tension. You stare back, willing them to say something. Anything. Sabine turns to face you. I may be able to help you. They sigh, and you see the darkness under their eyes. Hear the fatigue in their voice. They gesture to the door. You saw Toshiro outside? You nod. He works for my benefactor, we'll call him, Yatagan. They're influential in the low end. They give me this space to work, run the door, and take the profits. At the same time, I have to fix up their enforcers, tend to their implants, sew up their wounds. They look away. But Yatagan has connections, smugglers from the Starward Belt, mercenaries working for the corporations on Ember. If they can source the stabilizer, maybe you'll have a better chance. Sabine sets down the slate, their notes complete. This is dangerous, and it'd be expensive, but I think we can do it. Why help me? Sabine walks away to the window, their face grappled with the shadows of passing drones. Let's just see if this works first. I'll let you know when I have a lead. What do you say? You nod and leave, Sabine still staring out, unmoving. When you reach the lower level of the market, you look back up through the panels of the roof to see if you can see their face, but the room looks dark against the lights of the market. You duck your head and walk off into the crowd. Wait, so how's that gonna help me out right now? Street food vendor. Hardware exchange. I gotta go food vendor first. Whoa, that guy looks cool. Emphys is busy, his broad face uplit by the makeshift gas burner in front of him. With precise, delicate movements, he lays thick chunks of marinated fungus into a dented wok, his other hand idly tossing a metal bowl of sliced vegetables in some red-flecked dressing. The smell is incredible. You watch as he fulfills a set of orders, heaping the fungus with a bright salad and depositing it in plastic trays. A sack of chits rattles in his apron pockets as customers file past the burner, handing over payment. I'm gonna approach. You join the queue. It's mostly made of off-duty salvagers, vac suits unzipped and rolled down to expose stained vests, grubby mods. A lattice of scars and tattoos. They discuss the best food on the eye, the best drink, comparing notes on Bright Market's dives. Their words cut through the heavy spacer slang. Eventually it's your turn, and you shuffle to the front. Emphys speaks in a deep, even tone, without even looking up. First try is free. Thank him. Nice. The smell is almost unbearably strong as he cooks. The earthiness of the fungus laced with something so spicy the smoke makes your eyes water. The heat from the burner is like a bonfire, and your skin hardens in its glare. You know, you sleepers. I know you, you sleepers, Emphys says while he cooks, his voice deep but clear. A hard life, a lot of stories. He glances up from beneath his cap and piercing eyes. I know. Tell him a story. You begin to tell him about your journey to the eye, and he nods as he cooks, his eyes never leaving his work. You tell him of the confusion, the pain, but also the sense of possibility and its sudden arrival. You tell him of the cold and dark of the container and the endless cycles spent within it. Now it seems you tell him like some dream that you once had but can never forget. You tell him that the eye excites you and scares you. And you are unsure where to walk, where to look, or even what to do. Eventually, you tail off, running out of words. He places a plastic tray of steaming fungus in your hand. Next time, we could talk some more. He smiles, but next time, you pay. He slams a heavy hand against a button on the burner's side, and it shuts off. The roar of the flame and its impressive heat fades. Next time then, sleeper. He waves you away and begins to oil the walk. Before you could turn back to the alley, you notice the geometric patterns of circular scars across his forearms, each surrounded with a constellation of glinting pin marks. You walk away, and as you do, you take a bite of the rich, spicy, delicate, sweet fungus. Your taste sensors light up like a fusion reactor. You'll be back. Woo! Drive. Nice. Okay. I have a 5 and a 2. Let's not go to the wet dock. I still have 50. Well, I can't do anything with the doctor just yet. Can I not eat again? Can I eat again? Ooh. Can I? Oh. Hey. But he notices regular customers in his own quiet way. Yes, give me that food. Let's go. Okay. Now that I'm energized, passenger low end, makeshift doctors. Oh, I can't do anything with that. That's right. Okay, what about hardware exchange? What is this? Oh, sell components. I don't have any components. That's unfortunate. Risky. Load shits and components is an exchange is complex, but a sharp eye and some tight grades can net you a good margin. Ooh, I see. I'm psychotic. I'm psychotic. I'm narcotic. It's 'cause I'm bionic. Barely even human. My body is lost. My body is gone. Think that I'm gone.